listening wherever you are. My name is EDDYMACkS, and of course this is EDDYMACkS channel, your #1 online TV station where we bring you story moto from all corners of life. Today we are privileged to talk to one of our own, Mr. NC Fwamba, who will talk to us about his journey in politics. Karibu mheshimiwa.
Thank you very much. My name is Fwamba, NC Fwamba. I'm a believer in social justice. I'm an advocate of people's rights. And my journey in politics does not begin today. Today I'm interested in becoming the next governor of the city of Nairobi, based on the fact that I've got something different and unique to offer. My journey in politics does not begin today. I was a student leader at the University of Nairobi during my undergraduate studies. I was the vice chairman of SON. Through that, I got experience in leadership and interacted with my fellow students as well as the lecturers and the university administration. And through that, I was able to agitate for the rights of students, both at the national level and at the university level. It is through that kind of experience that we managed to increase the allocation of the higher education loans board to the students, because most of those who came from underprivileged families don't have opportunity to raise enough fees to take care of their studies and take care of their welfare while at the university. Then from there, I got into professional work. I got employed in the private sector, after which I decided to join the civil society movement, where we fought for people's rights. We fought against corruption. Most of those protests we used to see in town those days, between 2006 and 2009, were mainly organized by myself and other colleagues. Even during the time there was a maize scandal, I was one of the people who were arrested that day on the 18th of February 2009, when we were fighting against some government minister who had stolen maize. So we've had a journey. From there, I decided to enter mainstream politics, and my introduction into the national politics was through, first of all, leading the national campaign of the yes side of the referendum of 2010. I was a national youth leader of the yes campaign. From the PNU side, we were working under Professor Kagwanja. After that, in 2013, I contested in this city as a deputy governor candidate. I was running mate to the late Honorable Mutinda Kavemba, who was running for governor on Wiper ticket that year. In 2014, I tried my hand. I ran for MP in Mathare. I did not succeed. But I believe that on the basis of what I have something better to offer as opposed to whatever exists right now. After that, Honorable Waziri Eugene Wamalwa, after being appointed the Cabinet Secretary in charge of water and irrigation, he gave me an opportunity to work with him as an advisor. So I worked with the Waziri Eugene Wamalwa from the Minister of Water. Up to the time we were also together in the Ministry of Devolution. And through that, I gained a lot of experience in the public service. So there is no government structure or government work that I do not understand. I understand how government works, right from the level of leadership, political leadership of the government, up to the operational leadership of the government. I understand all the procedures that take place in government. And I know this experience gives me an opportunity to ensure that we provide good leadership to the country and also provide good leadership to the county, because through this experience, like in the Ministry of Devolution, I was involved in coordinating the Kenya Devolution Support Program, on which I was a key advisor to the CS on how that program was being run. It's a program that has really developed the counties. All the 47 counties have benefited from the Kenya Devolution Support Program. Through that, I was able to work and know the kind of development, the kind of weaknesses within our devolution structure. And this is a program that was entrenched by the President himself. It has the President's blessings, and he has been monitoring it right from the beginning. So through that, we have had our share of understanding what exists, what needs to be fixed, what kind of challenges that exist within the devolution structure. So coming back to Nairobi, I thought that there is a missing link I believe that the collective development of the country cannot be done in isolation. I'm a student of what we call system thinking or systems thinking. This is whereby there is one thing cannot happen in isolation. For example, if your finger gets hurt, the rest of your body will feel pain. That's the same problem we've been having, especially when it comes to like corruption. If there is one person stealing somewhere, then that affects the whole country. It affects the county, it affects the whole country, and it even gets to the level of affecting the development of the coming generations. So I thought that the biggest challenge we have in this country is leadership. Nairobi County in particular has been bedeviled by various ills since the onset of the devolution regime. If you look at the first regime of the county leadership, it was so much bedeviled by corruption, both allegations and real corruption, because you have seen some people going to court to answer to some of those charges. The second regime, as everybody knows, and we thank the president for taking an intervention to put the city back to the right track. It was bedeviled by both corruption and incompetence, wasn't the previous regime. So I believe that with my approach of the systems thinking, we can be able to ensure that all departments within the city are working in unison to ensure that we compete with the other counties and other countries, because we know Nairobi controls 60% of the GDP of the country. So it is the backbone of our economy. If Nairobi works, then the rest of the country will work. If Kenya works, then it is competing internationally. In 2015, September, when the United Nations came up with the Sustainable Development Goals, they wanted to move away from what the Millennium Development Goals had envisioned, because unlike the MDGs, which focus on developing countries, SDGs focus on all countries, developing and developed countries. Meaning that every country was supposed to custom make its own developmental program to achieve their goals so that they can compete internationally. We always talk about the Asian tigers, the ones that were at the same level with Kenya during independence. We talk about Singapore, Malaysia, and such countries. And we always ask ourselves, why is it that Kenya is behind Korea, yet we were at a higher level than them at independence? It's just because we have not made our systems to work. We think that if we have one good leader here and we have a rotten one on the other side, we can still move on like that. But if we adopt systems thinking, we'll know that for you to have a good governor, you need to have a good MCA, you need to have a good senator, you need to have a good women representative, you need to have a good president, and that's why we need to have to make good choices. When we get to this election in Nairobi in particular, we are looking at, for example, me, I support Azimio because I think the election of Raila Odinga as president will represent a change in this country, a radical change in this country. But having a good president and having a corrupt person as a governor, or a corrupt person as an MCA at your local level will not help. We need Raila as president, but we need a governor who can deliver and who can ensure that we eradicate corruption, and a governor who has an agenda, like the one I have. In terms of the manifesto that we have created, we are looking at the education, because we are always told that education is the greatest equalizer. So we want to ensure that those people who come from poor backgrounds are allocated bursaries on the basis of their need. You do not discriminate. You ensure that you give priority to people like widows, people who have been orphaned, and those are people who face serious challenges. Once you are able to educate people from various families, you are giving a promising future for these families. You are also giving opportunity to people who have potential and who will add value to the development of the country. And going back to the Sustainable Development Goals, in the context of Kenya, we, like in Nairobi, all these things that we want to put together, we look at a way of eradicating poverty. That's by ensuring that we give opportunities to the low-income people. we ensure that we provide employment opportunities at all levels. We cannot be providing employment opportunities to people who have degrees and we forget about those people who have tertiary education, other people who have gone to colleges or who have had vocational training. So we have a proper framework of ensuring that we employ people at least from every family at whatever level. In Nairobi, if every family has got someone employed by the county government, and this is something that is very possible, right from the level of permanent employment to the levels of casual employment. For example, these pavements that the city is supposed to be repairing, constructing, can provide employment to all kinds of people. So that's what we are looking at. We are looking at eradication of hunger. We want to have a specific arrangement for food feeding programs for the young people in schools. If children are well fed at school, then they can concentrate in class. When they concentrate in class, they have a promising future. And that leads us to good health. That our children will have good health. We'll put facilities that are working. We not only have structures, health facilities as structures, but we need to have a program, have budgetary allocations from the county to ensure that the hospitals that we put up are well equipped with the drugs and the necessary modern equipment that can keep our populations healthy. I'm a believer in gender equality. That's the one reason as to why, as I seek to be the governor of Nairobi, I'm looking at a situation whereby, as a believer in gender equality, I'll be having a running mate who is a female, so that our daughters can also know that they have an equal opportunity when it comes to getting positions of leadership and adding value to the progress of the country.
Exactly.
I'm looking at a situation whereby we need to provide clean water to the population. We need to sink boreholes in this city. When we were the Minister of Water with Waziri Eugene Wamalwa, we managed to partner with the county, the city council of Nairobi, to sink several boreholes in different parts of the city. If we increase the number of boreholes in this city, we'll ensure that there is availability of water away from the cartels. Remember, some people in leadership have been blocking water from being available to the citizens, and they instead get that same water, put in bowsers, and start distributing the water with their images on them, pretending to be helping, when they're the ones who have interfered with the flow of water to the citizens. So we are going to stop that by sinking boreholes in all the 85 wards, in strategic positions of all the 85 wards of the Nairobi city, so that every person has got access to clean water. And that takes care of fits within the framework of the Sustainable Development Goal number 6 that talks about clean water and sanitation. That means that we'll be competing with other countries, or growing together with other countries in the world at the same level. Because if we do not take that systems approach, we'll be having programs that do not make sense elsewhere. That by the time we get to 2030, when other countries will have made a lot of progress, we'll still be lagging behind. These we cannot achieve when we are having leaders whose only qualifications or their claim to fame is having appeared in certain scandals. You've seen some of the people who have presented themselves as my competitors have gained fame through having dubious backgrounds. They have questionable dealings. They are part of the problem that we need to solve in this country, and therefore they cannot come in the name of a solution. Other people's only claim to fame, as we have been seeing, you see on social media and even on TV, is presenting themselves as having interacted or taken photos with the principals within the Azimio coalition. It's okay to interact with the leaders. Personally, I've worked so closely with Waziri Eugene Wamalwa, who has been very supportive in nurturing our talents to become leaders and to take this country towards the right direction. And as you know, he's one of the ministers who are very clean, who have very clean records. And that's the example that all of us want to adopt. As we have the president as Raila getting elected and is being supported by President Uhuru Kenyatta, in the name of continuity of the project that have been implemented by President Uhuru Kenyatta, we cannot make a mistake of voting for someone just because he has taken a photo with the president. We cannot vote for someone just because he has taken a photo, posted for a photo with the prime minister. that is not our direction towards getting the right leadership.
Mheshimiwa, can you please address the issue of NMS and you will give us your last remarks? Yeah.
I know there are so many people who have been concerned. People have been asking questions and saying that since NMS is operational, then the role of the governor in Nairobi is not that significant. That's what some people have been talking about. But now, let us not forget that NMS was just an intervention by the president after the system in Nairobi failing totally. The president tried on several occasions to bring the governor to order, to try to assist the former governor to run the city, to advise him, but things did not work. And now on the basis of the constitutional provisions, NMS came in as an intervention to make Nairobi work. And so far, as you can see, things are better now. Things are better, people can see what NMS has been doing. But now, on the basis of the deed of transfer that was done, there's a provision that it can be renewed or taken back to the county, depending on the circumstances. So the current deed of transfer is operational until August, which means that after August, the county can decide to continue with that provision of NMS running some of its departments and or taking back the departments and running it. But again, apart from that, even if NMS has to continue working, because I see a good number of people are comfortable with it, if NMS has to continue working, the city will still be operational, because unlike the city county of Nairobi, unlike the other counties, the city county of Nairobi has very massive operational responsibilities, and every department is as big as some of the counties in terms of operations. So it is still possible for the city to run. The governor still handles a lot of stuff. The only departments that were transferred to the NMS are only about 4. So even if the governor is elected and is running these other departments, he still has a lot to take care of. What we need most is just responsible leadership. Once we have responsible leadership, within 1 year or from August, we'll have known whether we'll continue working with the NMS or reducing the departments under which NMS is operational to the county government or not. It will be based on the kind of leadership that we have. And that's why I'm requesting that everywhere in Nairobi, where people are, they are supposed to make decisions to vote the right MCAs, vote the right senator, vote the right women representative, vote the right member of parliament. Once we have the right leadership in all levels, at all levels, then we have a country that is developing. I also, something else that I would like to address apart from that is, Nairobi is the main port of entry, not only in Kenya, not only regionally, but even in Africa. Right now, we have something called African Continental Free Trade Area. Is now becoming the biggest, it's the largest trade area in the world. This is an opportunity for Nairobi also to grow. And for Nairobi to be presentable before other countries in Africa, it has to have a face. And I believe that I'm a very good face for the city of Nairobi, especially when it comes to engaging with businesses with other countries, with the rest of the world. When they come to Nairobi, they need to meet a governor who is up to task, the governor who is presentable, the governor who has ideas that are supposed to help not only to transform the county, but also transform the country. And this is our time. Let us have a fresh beginning. This is our time. Let us make Nairobi shine. It is a new dawn. And the new dawn is through Fwamba as the governor of Nairobi. Thank you very much for coming here, EDDYMACkS TV. I'm pleased to be with you today. My name is Fwamba. I'm going for the position of Governor Nairobi. I call upon viewers to subscribe to EDDYMACkS TV. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for your time. Thank you guys for tuning in. I've been talking to Fwamba, who is vying for Nairobi gubernatorial seat. And thank you. See you in the next video. This is EDDYMACkS TV.